Adrien Broner stops Ashley Theophane in the 9th round. Broner looked chubby in this fight, just like he did at the weigh-in. I was wondering maybe if I'd watched a video of the weigh-in and seen it at the wrong angle or something like that, or maybe it was the lighting that was making Broner look like there was a lack of definition there. But no, Broner didn't have any definition, no six-pack, nothing. So he did look kind of soft, a bit chubby when he got in the ring. Did that affect his performance? You tell me. This definitely wasn't one of Adrien Broner's best performances. He didn't look that sharp. His work rate was even lower than normal. And I have to say, I think the commentary team were dick riding Adrien Broner for the whole fight. Don't get it twisted. I think Adrien Broner won the fight fair and square. I think he was the better fighter. And I've always felt that. I said that before the fight, that this is the more accomplished, he's the better guy than Ashley Theophane. But Theophane was outworking Broner in a lot of the rounds. In fact, there was rounds early on in the fight where Theophane was absolutely going to town on Adrien Broner's body. I remember one round in particular, it might have been the third. Then at the end of the third, Broner landed a couple body shots and the commentators were like, oh my God, look at these body shots that Broner's landing. This is tremendous. It's going to take so much of an effect on Theophane. And I'm like, what? So Theophane was going to town on the body. You didn't mention none of that. Broner was just there taking all these body shots and you didn't say nothing about it. As soon as Broner lands a couple of his own, you're jumping up and down like little cheerleaders. Unbelievable. And even later on in the fight, I think it was in the 6th or 7th round, Theophane was yet again going to the body. And finally, this is the funny thing. One of the commentators said, oh, this is good body work by Theophane. Why didn't he do this earlier in the fight? I mean, are you even watching the fight? Did you actually? I mean, you sit in the ringside. God knows what you're doing. You're obviously not looking at what's going on in the ring. Unbelievable. So, yeah, Broner was getting hit a lot in this fight, particularly to the body. Ashley Theophane, technically, you know, he's quite poor in terms of the way he throws his right hand anyway. He's got a very, very sloppy way of throwing the right hand. All his other shots are fairly decent, short and well delivered. But his right hand is this big, wild swing. And he's always been like that. Every time I watched him fight, he always throws his right hand as some big, wild swing. No idea why. But yeah, he was outworking Adrien Broner most of the rounds. He was landing clean shots. So it wasn't just a case of Ashley Theophane hitting gloves all the time. No, Broner did his fair share of hitting gloves as well. I think the difference in this fight was Broner's physical strength and his punching power. Whenever he decided to impose himself on Ashley Theophane, Theophane was no match for Broner's physical strength. And whenever Broner did land clean, he was hurting Ashley Theophane. He hurt him several times. There was a couple of the early rounds which I actually gave to Theophane, but Theophane was actually hurt by Broner in those rounds with, you know, single shots or a couple shots, usually towards the end of the round, and Theophane would duck and dive and get out of the way. So, yeah, I think going into the 9th round, I wasn't really scoring it round by round, to be honest with you, in terms of keeping a score on a piece of paper. But my impression of the fight was that Broner was ahead, but it wasn't, you know, like the commentators were making out, like he won every round. Not at all. I think there were rounds, quite a few rounds there where Theophane was outworking him. But whatever the case may be, whether you think Broner won all the rounds, which I think is pretty ridiculous, but if you do, I can't see how anyone could look at this fight and say that Adrien Broner looked impressive. He didn't. He was getting hit a lot. He wasn't throwing a lot of punches. He was in there with a guy who he should be beating. As I said before the fight, Ashley Theophane is not one of the top 140 pounders. And he's coming with a big weight advantage over him. He should be beating a guy like this. And he did. 9th round came. He landed big shots. And Ashley Theophane was hurt. He chased after Theophane. And Theophane raised his right glove, his left or right glove. I can't remember which one it was now. He raised one of his gloves in front of the referee. And the referee took that as a sign that Theophane was quitting the fight, that he'd had enough. When actually Theophane was trying to get a break by telling the referee that he'd been hit low. So, I mean, Theophane's a very experienced fighter. I don't know why he would do that. What he should have done in that situation is go to one knee and then say that he got hit low instead of, you know, putting a glove up, because the referee instantly jumped in and said, you know, enough is enough. So I think Theophane's only got himself to blame for the stoppage, to be honest with you. Some people are going to say it was premature, but as I say, if you watch the replay back, clearly Theophane put his hand up when the referee was looking at him. So Theophane's got himself to blame there. Yeah, so Broner won the fight fair and square. No complaints there. And after the fight, in fact, boy, I'm going to do a separate video about what happened after the fight, but we all know what it is in the post-fight interview. We all know what that means. We all know that it's been a big setup from the beginning, this whole Broner and Mayweather beef, but I'll talk about that in a separate vid. So, yeah, let me know what you felt about Broner's performance. Maybe you think it was better than I thought it was. Personally, and don't get it twisted, I know that the guy is very troubled at the moment. He's got a lot of problems, legal problems. He's going to hand himself into the police on Monday and all this type of stuff. So I'm aware of all that. And maybe that's been playing on his mind, and you would imagine that had to affect his performance and his training camp. Okay, that's why the guy didn't look in the best shape he's ever been in. So I'm fully aware of all the issues that Broner's having. And that's probably why it didn't look that great in this fight. But we'll see what happens going forward. So drop your comments in the comment section below, people. How do you think Broner would do against Victor Postal or Terence Crawford? Personally, I think they would both beat him, particularly Terence Crawford. I don't see Broner at all beating Terence Crawford. Some people have said they're not convinced by Crawford and they think Broner would win that fight. I certainly don't. I would definitely pick Terence Crawford over Adrien Broner all day long. And Broner don't have a belt now anyway, and he's got some police situation to sort out. So God knows if we'll ever see that anytime soon. Anyway, drop your comments in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.